North Carolina is a hot spot for state-to-state migration. There's no denying it at this point. This has been going on for a handful of years, and I honestly think this is the beginning of a 10 to 15 year stretch of insane growth. And as this migration picks up steam, more and more people will be moving to the suburbs around North Carolina's major cities. Right now in North Carolina, they have a lot of new developments going up around their biggest cities. North Carolina ranked 4th behind Texas, California, and Florida for new home construction in 2021 and in 2022. And that should tell you they're planning on a big surge in people because developers don't build if they don't have a market. Today we're looking at the best suburbs to move to in the Tar Heel State in 2024. All right, let's take a look. Number 10, Morrisville, North Carolina. Morrisville, North Carolina is a cozy little gem tucked away in the heart of the Research Triangle. It's kind of this sweet spot between Raleigh-Durham and Chapel Hill, making it perfect for people that work in tech and research hubs but crave small town life. The community is super diverse, which I love, like I've said before, because this means you're going to get some great food options, from tacos to authentic Chinese food. The town's parks are like little green escapes, perfect for afternoon jogging, going for a little hike, weekend picnics, stuff like that. Another cool thing is Morrisville's not too far away from the airport, so it's a breeze for those who have to travel a lot. It's got this friendly, bustling atmosphere that's sort of contagious. You can't help but feel at home here. It's kind of this thing with North Carolina I've noticed. Everyone moves there and they say they felt right at home. When you look at the stats of Morrisville, they're doing pretty good, including their crime. It's actually 5% lower than the national average. If you want to buy a home here, the average home value is about $486,000. That's a little pricey for a lot of people, I know, but it's definitely not the worst. It's actually gone down 3% this year in 2023. Number 9, Davidson, North Carolina. Davidson, North Carolina is one of those charming little towns that people tell you about when they're trying to convince you to move to their state. What I like about this one, it's on the shores of Lake Norman, and I actually looked at a house here a few years back. I've mentioned before we were looking at property on Lake Norman. It was on Park Forest Street, like a block from the lake. It was really cool. The heart of the town is Davidson College, a prestigious liberal arts college that adds kind of a vibrant, youthful energy to this town. That's why they have so many condos on the water. And I'm sure more than half of them are being rented out to college students. Davidson has a nice little downtown, kind of reminds you of a small town Main Street. It's actually called Main Street. Lots of little pubs and coffee places and little boutique type shops. You know, typical Main Street America right now. At least typical on the side of not a dying Main Street in the USA, which we have plenty of those. I'd like to make a video about it. This is a great little community with, regular farmers markets, outdoor concerts, and local events that brings, everyone together that lives in the town. You got plenty of choices for things to do here. You can go downtown, you can just lounge at the lake. It reminds me of the typical small town in the United States, but it's really a suburb of the Charlotte metro area. Everything but cost of living is outstanding here as far as stats go. Their cost of living is a little high, and so are the home prices. Their crime rate is 79% lower than the national average. The average home value here is $624,000, and that's up 2% in 2023. Number 8, Huntersville, North Carolina. Staying in the Lake Norman area, we have Huntersville, North Carolina, which is just south of Davidson. It is the perfect mix of small town charm and bustling city. It's definitely bigger than Davidson, but it's a lot smaller than Charlotte. So you can find a happy medium there. This place is kind of famous for its parks and its outdoor spaces, like Lake Norman, where folks love to boat fish and just take in the sun. It's the type of town that there's always something to do, and they have plenty of construction going on right now. It's much bigger, has a lot more houses than most of the places on the lake. This is a great place if you want to raise a family. All of their stats are excellent except for their cost of living. It's a little up there. But remember, we're looking at the best suburbs, not the most affordable ones on this. So they're pretty much all going to be kind of expensive. And with all of these, especially the ones that are like on Lake Norman, I'm telling you what the average home value is. There's a lot of different places where the homes go up into the 1.2 million, 1.6 million, things like that. The crime rate in Huntersville is 43% lower than the national average, and the average home value here is $517,000. I did see a few that were going for like $420,000 and $430,000. Their real estate prices are up about 2% in 2023. Number 7, Matthews, North Carolina. Matthews, North Carolina is one of those charming small towns that you can't help but fall in love with. Tucked away in Mecklenburg County, it's a little slice of southern heaven. It even has some train tracks running through town. And you know how I love a good train ride. Matthews is not on Lake Norman, but it is in the Charlotte metro area. It's actually on the south side. What I like about Matthews is it still has that old world charm, with internet and things like that. Their downtown is pretty cool. It's a historic downtown with plenty of shops and coffee places. In short, Matthews is a cozy small town gem where community feels real and every day feels a little bit special. At least that's what one person told me about the place. She actually moved from there 3 years ago and she said it broke her heart. And she was moving to Vermont, which Vermont is supposed to be an amazing place to live if you like winter. Matthews has really good stats other than crime. Their crime rate is 8% higher than the national average. That's really nothing. There's places that have crime rates that are 450% above the national average. 8% in a small place like this could, they found out there was a salamander fighting ring going on in town. That could jump your crime rate up 2%. But if you want to buy a home here, the average home value is $468,000. That's up 3.6% in 2023. Number 6, Wake Forest. I love Wake Forest. Been a few years since I've been there, but I really enjoyed it when I stopped by. I have some really good video of it. I don't know where it is. I checked a bunch of hard drives I had. I don't know what I did with that video. Anyway, Wake Forest is a beautiful suburb of Raleigh, North Carolina, and it combines the charm of its historic downtown with the conveniences of suburban living. It's known for its strong community spirit and quality schools. This is one of those farmers market, lots of parks type places to live. The stats are outstanding and it is a great place to raise a family. Their crime rate is 50% lower than the national average. If you want to buy a home here, the average home value is $513,000. And that's down 1.6% in 2023. Number 5, Holly Springs, North Carolina. Holly Springs, North Carolina is a charming town that's got a little bit of everything for everyone. It's nestled in the heart of Wake County. It's known for its friendly community and southern hospitality, like so many other places in North Carolina. This is another place that's got a really cool downtown. Go take a walk down there, hit a coffee place, find some barbecue, and enjoy your day in North Carolina. A lot of people don't realize North Carolina has a solid barbecue game. Everyone always thinks about Texas and maybe St. Louis and South Carolina, but North Carolina is nothing to sneeze at. So if you're looking for a good place that's got great stats, it's clean, and a lot of history to learn about, Holly Springs might be worth a look. But if you want to move to Holly Springs, good news, they got really good stats. Their crime rate is 54% lower than the national average. If you want to settle down and buy some real estate here, the average home value is $550,000. That's down 1.6% in 2023. Number 4, Black Mountain, North Carolina. Black Mountain I've been to before, and I like this place. I think this is back, I had my first iPhone. Anyway, we were driving, and the map sucked back then, by the way, for the first iPhone. Kept giving you wrong information. We were driving from a comedy show in Hickory to doing some shows in Asheville, and thought I was all, fancy with my new iPhone, and I kept telling the other comic that was driving, oh yeah, this is it, this exit. He goes, the sign said Black Mountain, and I said, no, it's Asheville, that's what this phone's telling me. So we got off and learned the phone was wrong. After that, we were going to Atlanta. We get in the car to drive, and he goes, all right, according to your phone, where's Atlanta? Up by New York City? I think that dude still has a BlackBerry. Black Mountain is a charming town that's often referred to as the front porch of Western North Carolina. Now, technically, it's in the Asheville, North Carolina metro area. I think it's a little far outside of town, but it is listed as a suburb of Asheville. Black Mountain is a perfect spot for both locals and tourists to explore. Whether you're into like outdoor stuff and hiking and camping, this is a great place to do all that. You're getting up in the Blue Ridge Mountains here, and it's got a laid-back, friendly atmosphere. That's kind of this thing. Everyone seems a little like hippie-ish. Not just in Asheville, but seems like the whole Blue Ridge Mountain area to me. Reminds me of a lot of the people that hang out at the beach too long in California, just their relaxed attitude towards everything. Their stats aren't the greatest, but everything's a little above average, I would say. And their crime rate is 22% lower than the national average, which is not bad. Now, this is one of the more affordable places on this list. It's a decent place to live and houses are somewhat affordable. And yes, affordable is different for everyone. But since the average American family, they say, can afford a home right now that's about $460,000, this one's a little below the average. The average home value here is $450,000. That's up 3.2% in 2023. Number 3, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Chapel Hill is right up there with Raleigh-Durham. It is home to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and it provides a rich culture and educational environment. The town is known for its vibrant music scene, diverse restaurants, and numerous cultural events every single year. It is home to excellent schools and beautiful neighborhoods. They get good marks for not just the university, but schools K through 12 across the board. So even though it's a college town, it's still a great place to raise a family. Their crime rate is 52% lower than the national average. Their average home value here getting up there a little bit with $603,000. That's a lot higher than national average, but this is a great place to live. And that price is up 4.8% in 2023. Number 2, Apex, North Carolina. Apex, North Carolina is in the Raleigh metro area. If you want to live in Apex, you probably want to have a little extra cash. It's a nice place to live and it's a little expensive. In 1994, the downtown area was designated a historic district, and the Apex train depot, built in 1867, is designated a Wake County landmark. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in a place called Apex? Even though it sounds like a town filled with nothing but alpha males. Apex sits just southwest of downtown Raleigh, and it is one of the better suburbs to live in the United States right now, not just in North Carolina. I've read many website posts and watched different videos, and Apex always shows up as one of the best places with a high quality of life. It's got a little bit of that suburban living and a little bit of that rural charm to it. All of their stats are pretty good except for cost of living. Their crime rate's 52% lower than the national average. Homes will set you back a little bit. The average home value is $591,000, but that is a really low number. They can get up there in Apex. And it hasn't gone up or down in 2023. It's kind of stayed the same. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're looking for a new place to live in North Carolina or any other place, there's a link for Home and Money in the description area below. They can get you in touch with a real estate agent anywhere in the country. Another thing is, I keep getting asked what camera I used. It's called a DJI Pocket 3. There's a link for it down below. Take a look. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Cary, North Carolina. Cary, North Carolina is right by Apex, sits right between downtown Raleigh and Apex. It also almost touches Holly Springs, which was earlier on the list. Cary is definitely the best suburb to live in North Carolina right now. Probably one of the better ones in the United States as well. Sure, it doesn't have as cool a name as Apex, but you can't have everything, right? Cary stands out for its high-ranking public schools, its low crime rate, and numerous parks and green spaces. It's a great choice for families and professionals. This is where a lot of the people that work in the Research Triangle, this is where they live. If you didn't catch that earlier, the Research Triangle Park area is where a lot of high-tech companies, startups, and research firms are located. The crime rate in Cary is 52% lower than the national average. If you want to buy a home in Cary, North Carolina, I keep wanting to call it Cary, Indiana for some reason. Is there Cary, Indiana? I'll check.
A few moments later.
I just looked it up. There was a Cary, Indiana, but now it's called extinct. That's what they say. I didn't know towns can go extinct. I knew they could disappear or become ghost towns, but extinct? Anyway, it was a community of Quakers back in the day, and I think what I've got it stuck in my head is Gary, Indiana. Anyway, moving on, back to Cary, North Carolina. I think I'm going to do a video on extinct towns. That's pretty good. Anyway, if you want to buy a home in Cary, the average home value is $600,000, and that is up 1.8% in 2023. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.